Welcome back here to the Taicang, China for the CROSSFIRE Global Invitational. And it has been an interesting day of games. We still have 2 left to go here. So those of you just now joining us, please go back and watch the VODs. There's some great games. And even the ones that are not so close tell us so much about these groups. I think these groups are going to be so much more interesting than we've seen in previous tournaments where there's just, very, very obvious division between teams. I think this time we have some interesting teams playing really well. Makta, they're 2-0 now, and that is so good.
If we're discounting the Chinese, of course. The Chinese are doing as expected, but the rest of the teams, it's just like, you can't even predict.
I'm telling you.
You don't know who's going to be winning.
I'm looking down at the schedule right now. I want to know when it's going to be 18th game. So tomorrow late in the day, we're going to finally get to see TGF versus Makta. I'm already hyped.
That's going to be a good matchup.
Especially if Makta picks up a win in the last game of the day against Flipside.
Yeah.
Flipside going to look to climb back into this one after losing 1 already. But 2 TGF, so an acceptable loss maybe in your mind so far. But before we get to that, we get Boss versus TNC. And again, rematch of the regions, right? I'm not wrong, right? Yeah, Cherry Stars is Vietnam. Boss is also Vietnam versus TNC, who is also Philippines. So we'll see if Boss can claim revenge there for...
Make it 1-1.
Again, yep. That time
it's 1-1 between Philippines and Brazil.
Yep.
Makta took the revenge, so let's see if
Boss
can take the revenge. There we go. I couldn't remember the name for a second. Let's see if Boss can take the revenge on the TNC.
It'll be difficult. I think looking at both of these teams, again, maybe we don't know so much how Boss looks because of the way that their port game against SV played out.
Yeah. It's just a bit unfortunate that their only game today has been versus SV so far.
Right, so it's hard to really
it's hard to really gauge how good they are at just anything, really.
That being said, TNC, we kind of have a little bit of an idea of, maybe how they look, especially in comparison to the other teams in their group, losing to a close one to OPK and then beating Penta pretty soundly.
Yeah, so it looks like their Mexico is pretty strong. Their port may be a little bit lackluster, or maybe it's just the fact that OPK is really good at port, who knows.
Yeah.
But their Mexico, the way they handled Penta, that was unexpected.
As we see Boss coming up here on your screen, starting up with Shady, followed by Ali. And, Ali, very similar player to who we were talking about, KZ.
Yeah.
They even look somewhat similar, but both very vocal. They're similar in stature.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Right.
They're both like smaller, hypey
guys. They're both Vietnamese.
Right, they're both Vietnamese. They feel like similar players. FatCon, as you said, coming out of retirement here to return to this Boss lineup, and
he showed up last match. That's for sure.
Yes, he did.
He was a savage in that match, and we'll just see if he continues to light up the scoreboard for his squad.
Especially if he can spread that around as a leader to the rest of his team. Rita was a bit quiet, I would say, in their first match.
But it wasn't necessarily disappointing. I mean, they all kind of got flat, except for FatCon, so...
Yeah. You would expect a little bit more out of players like Ali and Rita, though, who've been in the scene for so long and have put up good performances.
FatCon is not even as experienced as those two, to be honest.
As far as international caps.
Yeah, as many as he's been to. Yeah. I mean, he's gotten second in CFS, but I'm not sure what other events he's even been to.
Well, I mean, second in CFS is about as high an accolade as you can get if you're not from China. So it's not a bad one to have. Dark, who's been instrumental.
He's been strong, that is for sure, especially on that Mexico match.
Whether or not he's been strong, the TNC strategy revolves around. Is that fair to say?
It's just the Philippine strategy. It revolves around the sniper. That's just kind of how they have developed as a region.
But has that how Makta's been playing?
Not necessarily. Maybe they're kind of going away from that. But for so many years,
right?
The strategy, Yeah, the strategy in Philippines just really never changed. They were just really good at what they did. They didn't have to change it. Now they wouldn't become #1 with that strategy, but they were always contenders.
And Forcey going to be on the calls there for them here, followed by RGM, who had some interesting plays in their win against Penta.
Yeah.
He was coming from interesting angles.
Yes, he definitely he came up strong, and he had good positional codes and things like that. He was solid.
Yeah. Madala, who's been fragging pretty well.
He's been doing pretty decent. He wasn't the one that really showed the most against Penta or against OPK, but he hasn't been at the bottom of the scoreboard just sitting there the entire time. He's been doing pretty decent.
Right, for sure. I mean, every time you look up there, you don't necessarily see the kill.
Middle of the board, which is what you want. You always want consistent fragging.
And they're finished up by MKC,
the most experienced member of the squad.
probably.
Yeah. Makta for how many years? 3 years, I think.
Yeah, easily. So we'll see what they can do here. It's going to be an important match for both teams. As we said, TNC 1-1 on the day, right? Losing to OPK, picking up a win against Penta.
And both equally lopsided scores. Not necessarily too lopsided, but it's kind of funny. I think it was 10-6.
Their match versus OPK was 10-8, right?
Oh, I think it was 10-6.
10-8.
No, OPK kind of cleaned it up near the end.
Was it? I swear we had a 10-8 game.
That was with Makta and...
Everyone, I digress. Boss versus TNC. Let's get into it. I'll tell you, Ben, there's been a lot of games today. We're on our 9th game. There's a couple of them are running together.
And we're actually back on your favorite map, Ankara. That's good. And Lucas coming in on top of the sniper battle here. Vietnamese sniper showing up that Filipino sniper.
Yeah,
I'm actually interested to see which one will come out on top in the end, consistently. But right now it's 1-0.
It will certainly be an important battle, right? With how we've seen TNC been playing with their
kind of centering around Dark,
as well as creeping, quiet style, trying to catch people off guard.
Just kind of chilling behind Dark, just watching his back and creeping along, hoping he gets a kill.
Also, that being said, it's a great map to do that, right? If you want to play
Ankara
aggressively as a sniper, Ankara is a place to be because there's so many different places to creep and try and look for long distance picks, especially with that op. We do see them moving towards this A site. They throw some equipment out, but it's going to be MKC with a double.
Nice shots there.
A huge double, actually. From that angle, going to stuff the assault onto
getting a double of his own. He got his second kill on the board for the round. MKC lit up though, so this is actually in favor of Boss.CFVN right now, and even more so because they're on the T side of Ankara, so they can gather up, they can take a site real quick, and there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 there.
I was going to say the one issue is that because of the way that they're well, there you go, Rita.
The bomb down though. You got the bomb down the middle. That's a really
huge.
Good. That's huge.
We needed to win that one there, but Lucas is able to take MKC down, and that could be the turning point here.
Oh, he's got to hit his shots right here. He cannot. He just can't connect on them.
Yeah.
He put himself in a tough position. He didn't seem to be ready for them to peek that, even though his teammate was 100% calling they were both there. So I'm really unsure as to why he wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be Boss on the board first here, and again, if Boss beats TNC, everything starts to look so crazy in Group B. Just because, especially...
Wins and losses everywhere.
Everybody winning, everybody losing. That being said, we've seen a lot more of some teams than other teams. Some equipment going to be thrown through A doors, but doesn't look like too much actual intent there from Boss, as we do see Shady looking looking to get some info through the connector, but instead it's actually going to be Dark. Surprise, surprise, who picks up a pick there onto Lucas.
They're just taking turns on rounds, and Metallic coming up huge, holding down the vent for his team here. Can he get a third? No, he can't. Shady coming in. Actually, that's Ali coming in with a quick 2K, running up the connector here. And they're going to have that A site all in control, but it's a 2v3, and the retake onto A is not that actually that difficult, and they're already up behind them. They better be rotating over to B, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The best thing they could have done in this scenario. And it looks like they should maybe go into the tower, do something like that. That's probably the best thing they're going to... Exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm just reading their minds, I guess. So they plant for the tower here.
It is still going to be a 2-on-3, though, and there are great directions to retake B from as the global risk side, unless I'm wrong there. But Shady in a great position if he can get the peek here onto MKC, but he may have missed his opportunity. Oh, and
this is a great retake here.
Whiffed grenade, almost.
They're definitely going to know he's here. Okay, they had a nade out. Well, I don't know what that strategy was. Maybe he was going to sacrifice himself, jump up there, throw a nade under his feet. Who knows? But they definitely had to know he was there from the plant, you know?
Right.
Or at least know it was a possibility.
In the end, that will be a round win for TNC and put us to 2-1 here as they get on the board into the lead again here. 2 in a row, I believe. Wait, or am I slow on this call? And it's actually 1-1.
Yeah, it is 1-1. I was kind of curious. I was like, where'd that other round go?
I would not be surprised
actually,
if I just
I think it is
completely lost around in my
No, it's
mind.
definitely 1-1. There's been too many games today. I can't even remember.
Exactly.
That push onto A site and then they ran over to B. That's why it seems like 2 different rounds, I guess.
Yeah, could be. That's a very good point. I don't think we've seen more than one plant though, so that would ruin my call. So we just see smoke coming here through onto mid, and Shady is gonna throw that frag there. Oh, he gets to tag onto Dark, but Dark is wondering.
Dark is hungry here. He's looking for those. He wants that kill. He's like, oh, a nade there. I guess I'll get myself a little headshot.
That means that someone must have thrown that nade.
They can't come from nowhere. But I like how Boss is over here just kind of spread out, looking for picks. And what he was doing with that nade is he was trying to get somebody to peek him. That's exactly what he was doing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're doing around the map. They're just waiting for somebody to peek, and nobody's peeking. There's a lot of patience here from TNC.
Surprising from both teams, honestly, actually. That Boss is not trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and neither is TNC, but it is going to be Backfun who picks it up there onto RGM. That will be the first man advantage here, and they're going to use that momentum to try and immediately execute onto this B site. Immediately is a strong word.
They got blinded there, I think, and then they were a little bit too spread out, so maybe they thought it was better to wait on their teammates, which is actually their decision. And then a quick pick on the Mac, and Mac overpeaking just a little bit there, and then a quick 2 kills on the GM.
That's where it ended up being like a fake.
Now, I was faked out from the perspective of just watching it.
Right? Well, I certainly was as I called out the watching it.
What? Madonna, can you pull this off? Madonna, what a beautiful 2K, but it just keeps happening. People keep just getting down to the last kill with some beautiful shots, and then they just can't seem to pull it together. It's like they're surprised by their own shots. Like,
right, exactly.
Oh, the way he caught that guy that was dropping off, that was just spectacular.
Yeah. And just, we've seen so many, especially in those odd man situations, just ridiculously clutch headshots.
Yeah, especially by like Algin in the last game, or any game he's played.
God, what was that? A 4? Yeah. Within the span of 1 second, he did some 4 kills, all with headshots.
Wasn't that by Zeke? That one was by Zeke too.
Was it?
Yeah, beautiful shot by him. But just as we're talking, just trades going back and forth between both teams, kind of even out here. It looks like we still have a stack toward A, and maybe the BL are kind of, and they have knowledge about this. They're kind of backing off, but I don't actually know if they're backing off. They're kind of taking their time, just looking around, being very careful. A smart decision by them.
If they can sniff it out here, B is pretty unprotected here. Only Darks there, or excuse me, only RGM they're looking at it. But even then, he's holding pretty deep.
Yeah, and he's also still in a good spot for if they come out mid, which they're not going to end up doing. But if they came out mid, he was in a good spot to get away and still maybe get a frag. But they're actually, unfortunately for him, just going to go straight underpass into the site.
And that's probably about the best thing that they can hope for. Well, they're going to be casual about it.
Actually, this is great because if you have the site like this for free, the thing you want to do is you want to plant for where Lucas is kind of sitting right there, right? And then you want to have 1 or 2 on the bridge, and just as soon as you see them in CT, maybe like flash, make some noise over here where Lucas is at, and then pinch them. That's honestly like a great strategy to have for a
It does
post.
look like Rita is going to hold that position, and they're going to delay a little bit as if they had just come onto the site.
Hopefully he has the patience for it, though, because if he does, this is going to play out perfectly for Boss.
He pulls back from that position almost immediately. He might be able to get back there in time. He is just there in time. But doesn't look like it's going to pay out immediately. He's looking for it.
TNC kind of taking their time here on this retake, making sure that
he's got an idea now, but nice smoke there from Dark. Going to really make...
Ooh, Lucas, Rita coming in with the backstab. That's what I'm talking about. That honestly, if you're ever in a scenario like that where you're in even numbers and you take B site free like that, the best thing to do is have at least 1 hotel ready to flank. As soon as they start pushing, all he has to do is just push as fast as he can, and he gets him on the flank. They never expect it.
Yeah, and Boss looking a lot better than they did against SV already. And I mean, take from that what
it's
you
hard
will.
not to get.
But it was still something we were wondering about, especially with the previous match, how it went between Philippines region and
Vietnam,
where Mokta just looked to completely outclass Cherry Stars. So good here to see Boss playing well, especially on the T-side. Even though you claim Ankara's T-side favored, you still want to see them put it up there, right, as the T-side.
For sure.
Anytime
I mean, they're already up to a
someone goes
3-1 start. That's still big.
The global risk side. Or back risk.
It's a brave play from Ali here. Might actually catch him off guard, but doesn't actually. Dark is well prepared for it. Dark coming in for the re-peek and gets an easy headshot onto him. That was just timing right there. Dark had the perfect timing. He knew where Ali was, and he knew Ali just peeked, so he could only win in that scenario, even if Ali was backing up.
Good job to do here, though, and he will go down almost immediately to
Lucas just pushed in so deep, so quickly. Just ran straight in main. It's a good play from him. 4v3 scenario. The A is always kind of possible to retake. With 3 people, you're down a man. Trades just go back and forth right now as we're talking. It's hard with a man disadvantage, that's for sure.
I think part of the biggest issue is that stairwell is not conducive to a retake. You really have to get someone around like this by RGM, and now that things have... Now it's super difficult. But he is going to win the first one. Shady, guesses wrong.
TNC somehow coming out on top of all those trades. And I'll just throw this out there. If you're ever in a certain area like they were, 3v4, you can retake from that CT wall, but what you have to do, what is key, is you have to smoke off the middle of the site. So there is a smoke, a set smoke you can throw from like right outside of CT. Just toss it straight up. Boom, lands right in the middle of the site. You can flash over and just drop down. Maybe keep one on top and just drop down and collapse. It's a great way to retake, but what they just did, they still retook. So you can do what they did as well.
At the same time, I feel for Shady, dude. He has 2 directions to guess as a coin flip, basically. And
just
he looks
unfortunate,
looks right instead of left and gives the free kill over. That being said, looking pretty close here, even just round to round, as well as on the scoreboard. Really tight here between these 2 teams, at least early on. And again, like we saw previously, Madala, quietly creeping up that scoreboard, but it's Lucas right now who is on top with 7 kills to his name. And most interesting, TNC Dark switches off with the op.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
On Ankara defensive side.
If you're not making enough plays and you're having to rotate quickly,
not the quickest reaction time there from that.
But if you're having to rotate a lot and they're just taking the site from you, either side, then it's almost better to not have an op. Especially if you're not making plays. He's not making enough plays early, so maybe that's why he switched off it.
Yeah, could be. It's going to be rough, though, especially on a map like Ankara. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Ali. You got into a perfect scenario just pushing out in.
No, hopefully no one will clip that and send it to him in an email.
Could have knifed him if he was faced.
Right.
Definitely would have knifed him.
I don't know if that's worth it. Unless he was the
It's
last
not,
man.
but FaZe would have tried.
Would he have? Would he actually? I don't know.
Maybe not. Not in this close of a game.
Right.
He found a knife in
If he was the
his
last
match today.
man. If he was the last man.
Did you see that, though?
I did not.
Yeah, in their
Did he
match,
really?
they found he knifed somebody. It was a double kill.
Oh, goodness. That guy and his knives. Anyway, that will be a nice round win there in the end from Boss as they clean it up pretty convincingly for that round with 3 still left alive. I was a bit distracted by all of our talking of knives, but a great play from Ali. It didn't actually turn out to as much as, you know, a lot of times it does in a situation like that. Although immediately after making a great play, he kind of makes a boneheaded one as he gets picked through the double doors before the smoke fills out.
Well, I would say this so far. Boss has, they've looked like they've had the upper hand the entire time. Yeah, the score is decently close to 4-2, but it 100% should have been 5-1. They kind of lost they got an early pick in that 4v3, and it was a 4v2. So it was basically a 4v2, and they lost a 4v2. So it should be 5-1 right now. But at the same time, it was decently close. So TNC, maybe they can start showing up here in these next few rounds. And dominating.
Now we get a chance to see what TNC is going to do, what they can work with this man advantage. As, you know, we haven't really seen Dark be able to pick them up one like that.
Light to red right now, too. So Rita probably less than half HP right now. So they're definitely in an advantageous spot to take this round. Let's see if Medalla can actually show up on this.
You should have heard them come.
Oh, goodness, yet again, Medalla taken out down on that lower.
Dark
below the
Dust
stairs.
Rita. The 2-part combo, by the way.
I don't know why I'm forgetting the name of that spot.
Shady picking up a double kill, though, will turn it back into even favor here. Really having a good day here on the site. See if he can't continue it. He is going to get tapped down to half HP a little bit after exactly a quarter HP. Lucas again also getting sprayed down, and TNC just winning it through a matter of inches, but Shady going for the backstab.
This is smart right here. I don't know if they'll even expect this. No, they don't, but he whips the shot. It's a hard shot to hit, though. He tried to hit it too quickly, I think.
Yeah.
And wow. Unexpected. I didn't even expect that round to end that quickly. It just ended.
Right.
It was like a second. And they all died.
Double to the left, single to the back.
You know, he's going to look back on that round and just say, well, guess I should have taken a little more time on that shot. The guy wasn't even looking at him. He should have just taken just a second more and shot him in the head.
Yeah, he could have absolutely played that more patiently.
Yeah.
Especially since he didn't see the second person.
True.
You know, similar to the play that Ali made last round. You know, he took a second and looked to see what else can I get after I kill this dude. Because that's what's about to happen. What else can I do with my time immediately after? Doesn't find anything, but has the patience to consider that, which is always something you want to see out of the top players.
It's always fun to see those plays where they line up a second frag right after.
Ali's so hot right now.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely getting those early picks for his team.
That being said, look at the kill board there over there for
pretty
Boss.
even.
Everybody's stepping up.
That's what you like to see.
Only one person under 500.
Yeah, and that's honestly what you like to see, though, is just even frags on the board for your whole team. If you're on that team, you want to see that. Because that means everybody's a little bit confident. Nobody's down in the dirt thinking, I'm getting tore up this match.
And nobody's thinking, oh my gosh, my back, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm doing everything.
Somebody give me a bigger backpack.
You can't let me die. You have to die for me.
Right.
No, they're playing teamwork now because they're all fragging.
That being said, we are closing in on the end of the first half. We have only 2 rounds left. And this round already halfway over as we do see the come out and boom, flip off the stairs, looking like this is going to be a straight up stuff. Although I say that as Ali and Rita turn it back into the 2-on-2 and at full health no less. But a great kill. What?
Wow.
RGM does back to back.
RGM, he doesn't know how to miss right now.
Back to back.
Just headshots galore.
Back to back double kills to close out the round from RGM.
Goodness. It's just unfortunate round losses by Boss. They're just
speaking of hot.
super hot BG or RGM.
There you go. BGM. Maybe he's got some great BGM for. Maybe we can find some good
background
BGM
music.
for RGM.
It'll be Eye of the Tiger. Don't want to get copyrighted there, so I won't continue.
Oh, ooh, that is a lot of equipment coming into connector, and then Shady's gonna go pick it all back up and bring it back, I guess.
What are you guys doing wasting all that? Here, take it back. Let's start the round over. Can we get a pause?
Right.
Oh, lining up this flash, I think that's going to be for basement right there. Yep, that's for basement. Oh, no, that's too far.
And there it is, yeah. But they do get the entries anyway.
Yeah, they still come out on top, even though two of them are madly lit. So this could be
a
another.
lot.
And guess who's alive? RGM is alive.
Right.
You got to be careful of that guy. He could quickly turn it into a double-double.
If he is on the retake from B to A, that dude is scary.
Dip. Run back to B. Go A long to B. Get out of there.
Right. I mean, he's in position. He's coming from.
He's
the
not even
exact
shooting
same
bullets. He's
angle.
saving the bullets for that double kill.
Exactly.
But he's also looking for that double, like I said. Double kill.
He can't find it here.
He gets one. He's already got one on the board, and Mac gets another, and Mac gets a double kill as well. Mac with the triple kill. Beautiful headshot. Beautiful headshot coming in from Mac. He's not holding back.
And all of them
rapper.
headshots. That's also their play caller there. So for him to get going as well.
Goodness. And Vietnam just looking a little bit down now. They started off pretty hot, but the last 3 rounds they just can't seem to hold.
Yeah.
2 double kills to clinch the rounds from RGM, and then what happened? They just get retaken by Mac and RGM.
I mean, it looks super tight here moving into the second half. I mean, basically nothing between them. The first half of the first half, so the first quarter, we'll say, looked, as you said, very much in Boss's favor.
I thought they were going to take it. They looked like the clear-cut favorites there, but like I said, TNC can come back. And guess what they did?
I still think it looked in their favor.
Definitely early in the round, but somehow
even later.
Well, somehow they just couldn't see. I don't know how they couldn't clinch those out.
Exactly.
Just over and over.
But it's really, like, it depends on how much do you want to give credit to RGM just repeatedly hitting, RGM and in that last round, Mac,
yeah,
repeatedly hitting ridiculous amounts of multi-kills, or are you crediting that to them, or are you going to credit...
I'm going to discredit that from Boss, honestly. Because Boss should have been able to hold that, especially that 2v4 that they lost, the 3 rounds before the end, I think. That 2v4 they lost, and it's just unfortunate round of events. But hopefully they can pull it out this half and keep the momentum going for them, or else they're done for, and TNC's going to take this. Yeah,
I think it's such an important match for the group, just to start getting an idea of how the group's going to play out, because it's so hard to know with TNC on 1-on-1. And Dark, that's a good one.
Dark pulling the op back out. He's not AKing anymore, and he gets that first kill onto the other opper, Lucas.
Which went the other direction at the very beginning, right?
Yeah, this is the exact same scenario.
Times.
Was it at A site? No, it was actually in middle, it looks like. He must have peeked the mid stairs. And now he's back at A. He's just peeking everybody. He's confident after taking out Lucas.
Nice flash there. Gonna keep him at bay for now. Ooh, another player gonna really find free fire, but instead of Shady.
He almost got him out.
Dark with 2 on the round. Looking for that ace, baby.
We still haven't seen the aces yet today.
We have not.
Looking forward to see our first one. Maybe Dark can bring it out. Come up big for his team.
We've seen at least a couple of 4Ks, but no aces.
Yeah, quite a few 4Ks. But on land, honestly, in CF, 5Ks seem to be very difficult to get. I don't know why. You don't often see them.
Well, we've got a shot at it here as Dark in position. But it's going to be RGM.
RGM going to KS him there. Come on, man. Toxic. Rita, I don't know how those shots weren't connecting, but it looks like maybe that was his backpack.
Nadal going to pick one up with the
Ooh, Ali, nice shot there. Come on. The captain bringing it in for his squad to see if he can do it. Most experienced member of the team. It would have been only fitting that he clinches this round for him.
He's been such a good player for so long. It's still so hard for him to clutch this.
Madala just ends it. Not even giving him a chance. Just first bullet straight to the dome.
Yeah. Always been such a good player for so long. It's great to see him back at an international tournament, along with many of these names on this Boss team. You know, as you mentioned, Taicang, in addition, Rita.
Yeah.
All of these are pretty iconic Vietnamese players, including Shady.
Yeah. Lucas is only the new
Lucas.
one. Yeah. I think he replaced Rita on this.
That would make sense, yeah.
And, we haven't really seen too many. They played SV, so they didn't really get much of a chance to show how good they are or how good he is. But I haven't seen a lot from him so far. You know, I'm looking to see why he replaced Rudo. Let's see if he can show it in the next couple matches or this match, or just see what else he can do here.
That's a very good point. We will definitely be looking forward at Lucas to see what he can do here. But it's really been very early on. It looked like it was going to go Lucas's way, but it's been pretty much all dark recently. Oh, we might have picked the wrong time to unscope there, but I don't think he would have had an angle on it anyway.
Lucas, he's going back to the AK.
Oh, he swapped it out.
Yeah, on this GR side, it's just, on this GR side, I guess maybe it's a little bit more beneficial for him, so he can rotate quicker.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we've seen pretty much both teams able to get pretty convincingly onto sites, and it's been a lot about the retakes. So it could be the way to go here. We'll have to see how it plays out, as Taicang going to be holding a really tight position here. He should be able to hear him.
This should be a distraction play, yeah. Rita's going to be playing distraction here. But at the same time, if they peek a little bit too, Botcon's going to come out with 2. I don't know why he's switching his gun there. If he hadn't switched his gun there, he definitely would have gotten the 3K.
Maybe.
But Ali, he's coming up. They probably hurt him up top, and he gets naded by his teammate, strangely enough. But he still takes him out. A nice, clean round by Boss right there.
You get an assist for that, right?
For nading your own teammate?
Right. And then he immediately kills that guy. I get an assist.
I did damage to you, so it counts, right?
Exactly. And then you pass said damage onto him.
It flowed through him. Yeah, it's like electricity.
Chi.
Damagetricity.
Allow the power to flow through you.
It looks like we're getting another slow round here from TNC. They're opting for a heavy stack mid. Maybe they think that Boss is actually going to make some aggression in the mid here. But after nothing is happening, they're starting to move toward B. Maybe they're going to take that B control.
We've seen so little. Yeah, we've seen so little play there. They've been throughout
pretty much pounding A this whole time.
Exactly, both teams. And as a result, we haven't seen pretty much anybody holding forward in B, and
B
looks
Hotel
like TNC trying to exploit that here.
Yeah, B Hotel's feeling a little lonely up there. They're just trying to get some friends up in there in Joba, the bar.
Yep. Gotta get over to the Joba as they try to move towards the B site. Maybe they're still
heavy rotation coming in here though. They're kind of predicting this round. Maybe they heard something, or maybe they're just predicting that they're going toward B here. They got a heavy stack and underpass, and somehow it just does not work out. Or does it? No, it's still 2v3 in favor of TNC, so it didn't even really work out. It's like they weren't even prepared. They were just kind of dilly-dallying around. Maybe they didn't think they were that close.
Yeah, who knows? That was an interesting interaction, but at the end of the day, it can also just be about hitting your shots. And MKC looking like he's going to close out the round. Only one left in it. And it will be Dark who takes it down. And 7 now on the board here for TNC. It's still tooth and nail here.
Yeah. But so far, it's not looking too likely that Vietnam is going to come back and even that 1-1 country score.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but that being said, it's only 2. Again, people need to wait for the smoke to fill out.
That's one thing that I can't stand is when people just don't wait on the freaking smoke, man.
There is not a difference between a rush that's... There's not going to be a 0.1 difference as the rush does come out. And it's super, super scrappy play here. Oh,
Ali Savage mode just jumping off.
Oh, he gets both.
Fitting that the Vietnamese player goes into Superman mode.
Oh. I caught that reference.
Even though he's probably still not awake at this time.
That could be. Well, it's about that time, right? Yeah. If you really were dedicated and wanted to get up early, it would be about that time for some NA viewers. Although probably more likely they were here for the early games.
You know, was it Lucas coming out strong this half? No, it was Dart coming out strong this half, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it continues to go back and forth between these snipers for the first picks. Generally, you see one sniper come out on top, and he just keeps not even just picking the other sniper, but he continually gets the early picks because he's confident. But both of these snipers are just going back and forth.
Right. That's the more interesting thing. Is it?
Yeah.
You know, or they're evenly matched, and it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it was, you know, like okay, I'm gonna let you have some time in the sun, and then now it's my turn. But yeah, nice couple picks here.
Shady gonna meet some more aggression here. I don't know. I don't think he saw or heard him. So this may be a great position here from. I don't even know who that is. Oh, Dark. Yeah, it's a great position here from Dark.
He's turned his
but does
back
he even know?
time.
Shady coming up huge here. He caught the glimpse of his booty there. But RGM's not gonna let him have that.
He's been hitting headshots so anytime the camera is on him. He hasn't been like
Has
way
he even
out
hit a
in
body
front.
shot yet this entire half? I mean, this entire game?
At least not when the camera's been on him.
Yeah.
But it's been a little absurd. The 2-on-4 now, they are onto the site, but I really don't want to plant if I can't get somebody first. It does seem like Lucas did hear the plant as well. I mean, rotations are going to come through regardless. But we should see them retake in force with the flashes they have, and should be a pretty easy ground clear out by Boss.
Oh, Lucas, nice little 1v there. Rita cleans it up as well.
Nice trades there, and again, clawing their way back in as Boss. 7-7 now.
No, I'm liking these retakes I'm seeing from both these teams though. They're doing them sort of strategic, but also sort of savage. Like you gotta do them. You gotta just go in and no holds barred, just jump around.
I mean, if you have the 2-man advantage, I think you just go in and brute force it.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Especially if you still have the flashes, like they did. You know,
you don't necessarily have to throw the smoke at that point, but you do. Of course, you still need to throw the flashes, but you don't need to be as strategic about it as you would if you were even.
Right,
numbers, Yeah.
You just go in, say we can trade 1 for 1. Just don't stack up.
Don't get collateraled. Hopefully.
Exactly.
don't do what revenge. Don't
get revenged.
Yeah, collateraled.
Man,
this is an early push onto B. This hasn't actually happened this entire time. Is anybody even watching it or watching the cross or anything?
Nobody's home.
Curious from Ross here. Not even watching the cross. I understand they have one in hotel, but
Shady's
he's not even paying attention. Does he even know they're there?
No idea.
Not until the bomb was planted did he probably even know they were there. But it's a huge possibility of a retake from Boss. They still have a huge chance in this round.
Madala is in a great position if they can't sniff it out. It's not a common holding place right there. And it is nobody yet to die. Poking in and around.
It's a good split
Alley again.
Boss coming in huge with the strategy here. They're splitting the site. And look at that. Shady coming in with the quick 2 kills of his own. Quick 3K. And can he pull it up with a 4th? No, Lucas goes ahead and KS's that from his teammate. Don't want to let him get all the glory here.
He's back to back.
Could not get those words out.
Ali is just. How many kills has Ali had in the air?
I think at least 3 this half. Or maybe 4 this entire game.
He's better in the air. Just keep him in the air, boys. Find some way to get him out into the
keep him hovering.
Baby. Yeah, hover mode.
Just
hover mode alley.
Rename the helicopter alley. Helicopterly. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Ooh, big pick there early from Rita. Aggressive pick. This is something we haven't seen from either team either, is that
aggressive AK push.
Exactly.
Or AR push, just rifle in general.
Especially through that A doors.
And you got Lucas here. He's holding down this A long. This is a good... Oh, he's going to go ahead and back off, though. That's still a good hold from them. They know exactly where they are now, just holding around and spawn. They can take map control over the map, because you look at that. They're up middle. They're in AC. They're up hotel. They're watching underpass from the side. They've got everything.
They've lost complete pressure on the other side.
Now, one thing I'm not too sure about is why that player number 4, which is Ali from GR side, is not pushed up, collapsing on underpass or something like that with his teammates. Because it looked like his teammates were pushed up into mid there for a minute.
Or why Lucas is starting to fall back. Or why Rita is coming back across. Like, where did they think that they could go from those angles?
Yeah.
You have them bottlenecked into only X number of options, and you've decided to cancel. You've decided to call off guarding those options and completely move
Stack toward
everything over to
stack toward A.
It's a very, very strange call here.
It seems like anything they did two types of pushes. They pushed toward A, and then they also collapsed on like a B in middle. So why didn't they finish out either one of those strategies? It's very curious right now. They're still coming out on top this round, but they could have ended the round sooner than this already if they just completed any of their pushes.
You almost have to say it's almost like it's a lack of confidence that they were correct.
Yeah, they're thinking like, oh no, there's no way they're going this way. We should back up and stack this other side or something like that. Yeah,
but like you were covering all the bases. Where did they rotate from? If that was the case, regardless, they are going to close out the round, and that will put them on.
Match point.
I guess we've seen a team earlier today.
Yeah, that's not.
I want to count my
jinx
chickens.
then. Oh, MKC. Speaking of the devil, coming up with a quick 2K, but they're not going to let him finish that off. They don't want to succumb to the curse.
Rita
Sacrificing himself for the curse. That's what he's doing.
For Will.
And it's kind of curious here, speaking of the curse, every time I've mentioned one team is coming out and seems to be the clear leader,
That's a good point.
it's switched up every time. It's actually kind of funny.
Point.
3 times, I think, so far this game.
There's still definite possibility of TNC trying to stretch this into an overtime, but it's really just slowly turned back into Boss's favor as we've seen, and it's gonna be rough here. I think again you're pointing out that not a single op on the map.
Oh, that is true. They've both given up the op. Just for these last few rounds, maybe they just want to change up the strategy here, and both have the same idea. Let's just drop the op, be more aggressive, rotate quicker on GR side, and be more aggressive on T side. Maybe that's the idea behind it.
If so, could be a fun round here. Although all that being said, it's actually gotten off to a pretty slow start as TNC fans out across the map, and Boss holds super deep. What do you think about this just as a strategic call from Boss? Just because it looks like they're just going to say, we're going to split.
They're just
3-2.
holding pretty, not necessarily pretty standard, but they're holding both sides. They're ignoring mid because what has TNC done? They haven't gone mid at all this entire game. Except late in the round, you know, they're holding the sites, expecting them to push one of the sites.
But they're also expecting a B push. Otherwise, you would at least put somebody who can rotate quickly, right? These rotates are going to come so slowly.
Running around with the nades out, I'm not too sure about that. That exactly was what got them killed there. I don't know what that was. But if anything, if I was going to stack 3 towards B like that, I would play 1 A and 1 A wall toward middle if I was going to play toward A. And then just play to back off A and retake. Maybe get 1 pick as they're running up, but I just don't know what their strategy was there. Just as soon as they see him coming in, jump around with nades out. Is that the strategy?
Right.
Just hope for peace on Earth. Maybe they won't shoot you.
That being said, Ali just trying to pull it out.
Can Shady get this 1v2 here? This is definitely possible.
Oh, he's got it!
I wanted to say he's got it, but I had a feeling it was just not going to turn out in his favor.
When he picked up the first one, it looked like it was just he's gonna be able to flick that spray right into him. Perhaps I'm too optimistic. I just love the clutches so much.
I mean, this could turn out to be
like that.
Yeah, that would have been epic. Just clinching it out for their team so many times today. That would have been if that were the case right there. But it could turn out to be our first overtime.
Another one out. Yep. Yeah. They can clutch one more out. We're gonna see our first overtime of CFGI. But they're going to have to fight their way through Boss to do it. And it's been this man who's been making a lot of influential plays. But again, you know, we've seen everybody on Boss performing. It's really been... I can't point out anyone on either team who's really been like, oh, man, this guy's just being a liability. Yeah. Right, even lackluster.
And I like this from TNC. They've had a lot of success on A at retaking it and taking it. So that's what they're going to do for the last round here is just rely on that A site. They haven't been spotted at all, too. So that's great for them. There's not going to be any fast rotates. And Falcon in his position here again. If he doesn't switch guns, maybe he can get a 3K.
Exactly, right?
But they may be expecting this. If they see Rita in this position, they may just turn and look at Falcon, but they're not even going to get a chance to.
Oh, they do the split, and it's
even
red
look at
out.
him. They didn't even bother looking at him.
Boom.
They knew he was there, but they didn't turn. So that's going to be a win for Boss.
That was a
10-8.
super quick, almost anticlimactic round.
It really was. It was just like, it was right there. It was right there for the table. They just didn't do it.
But it's also just like
They didn't push together. They all were nobody really got flashed out
because if they had like say failed to flash out one member, or failed to flash out one position, it would be like, oh, monster 3K. It was what at most alley picked up into play, but they all died within maybe 2 seconds of each other. So I mean, you have to say they really botched that execute because there's no way that it should have been that heavy of a stuff.
Yeah, it was just
if you put your equipment in the right
It was just
areas.
unfortunate that the one round they don't really play together and push together is the round that matters the most. The round that could have sent it to overtime and possibly won the game for them, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Them's the breaks. I mean, it's those rounds in the closing. I was gonna say rounds.
The
rounds in the closing rounds.
That's what we like to do here. We just
right
like to
at
mix
the
up
death.
the language.
You know, it's what makes the difference between a good team and a great team is can you clutch it out there at the end and it.
Late rounds are what matters because as you've noticed in these past couple of matches, early rounds you can get the picks and get the early round lead, but if you just can't clinch it out, you can lose a 2v4, you can lose a 2v5. We've seen that happen already this tournament on the first day. So you have to be good in those late round scenarios. You can't just be an early round team because that's not going to win you the round.
Yeah. It's definitely been an interesting day. We've seen so many different kinds of matches.
Just stomps and close and tight matches, yeah. And the kind of matches that are actually close, but the round differential is huge, right? I don't know, the round differential isn't that much, or the match was not close.
Right.
Things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's been a very interesting day, and we still have one more left, which is a good way to close our day out because it's so influential to the group.
Great match, yeah.
Because Magda,
it's basically the fight for second or first. Most likely the fight for second if we're being realistic. And if either one of those teams loses, then actually I'll just put it this way: if Flipside wins, there's still a fight for second. But if Magda wins, basically the fight for second is over. At that point, Flipside's just gonna have to hope that the rest of the group beats TGF.
But so I worked it out here just really quickly. Group B currently, SV 2-0, Boss 1-1, OPK 1-1, TNC 1-2, Penta 0-1.
So that's Group A or B?
That's Group B.
That's a tight group. That's honestly it's just like a crazy group right now. Just
wide
winning,
open.
Losing,
wide open.
Wide open. You would expect. At the beginning, if I was just gonna throw out predictions, I would say Penta comes in second in that group, and not put. I mean, yeah, there would have been tight matches, but I'm just gonna put my faith in Penta to punch that out because they're the most.
It's hard to bet on OPK.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost impossible to bet on OPK because he's unknown.
TNC the same thing.
Right, same for
hard
TNC.
To bet on TNC. Unknown.
Hard to bet on Boss just because Vietnam just as a region, you just never know.
Up and down.
But like Penta, you pretty typically
like
know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, they're always there. They're always placing high in tournaments.
Which don't get us wrong, they're only 0-1.
Exactly, but it was just they're 0-1 to a team that's not China.
To in fact the only team in the group that's 1-2.
So they have to go through China and beat 2 other teams in order to make it out of their group. So that's the reason why we're kind of just acting the way we are about the whole group. It's just like, who knows who's going to come out second? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come down to OPK versus Boss.
Really?
I mean, what you think is Penta going to beat SV?
No, but I mean, you can hope. I mean, we can hope for a great game. Penta, they looked a little lackluster against TNC, but also TNC was looking mighty strong in that game. Maybe their Mexico is just insane. I don't know.
Let's predict TNC loses to SV.
Okay.
I know this is crazy talk. Oh, man. That puts them at 1-3.
Okay.
which means that one win over Penta basically ruins Penta's day.
It's unfortunate. That's the kind of thing that just breaks hearts. When the one team who's at the bottom gets one win and it's against the team who is contending for a second.
Yep. That's pretty, but that's theoretical, right?
Yeah.
TNC has that match, and we'll have to see. I mean, we still have, again, though, Don't Go Away, flip side, Pacific Makta. Makta looking great. Flip side, we'll have to see. But Don't Go Away, we're going to close out the day with flip side versus Makta.